Hello, estudiantes. Today we're going to learn about noun and adjective agreement. Please have your note guide out and ready and follow along. So, I'm going to talk about noun and adjective agreement in Spanish, and it can be a little bit different than it is in English. In Spanish, adjectives usually match the gender and number of the nouns they describe. Also, in Spanish, the adjective usually comes after the noun. This is different than the English language, because we know that in English, the adjectives come before the noun. So let's talk a little bit about masculinity and femininity. In the Spanish language, adjectives and nouns have masculinity and femininity. So in Spanish, the adjective has to agree with the noun it modifies. So in this situation, the adjective is masculine because the noun is masculine. So in this situation, the adjective ends with O. El chico alto. As you can see, the adjective is after the noun. If I want to make this plural, in Spanish, if it's a masculine plural noun, I usually make the adjective end with OS to match the noun. So in this situation, the tall boys would be los chicos altos. So, in Spanish we have masculinity and we also have femininity. In Spanish, if I want to make an adjective feminine to match its feminine noun that it goes with, I usually make the adjective end in A. So in this situation, I say la chica alta, or the tall girl. If I want to make the adjective plural, and it's feminine, in Spanish I usually add AS. So in this situation, I would say the tall girls, las chicas altas. Please look at your note guide right now. And I ask you on your note guide to write 4 noun and adjectives. One is singular and masculine. One is plural and masculine. One should be feminine and singular. And one should be feminine and plural. So please stop the video and write down 4 noun and adjective pairs. Please use page 75 for inspiration. After you have done that, we're going to talk about some more noun and adjective agreements. So in Spanish, if an adjective ends with E, it can usually match both genders. So in this situation, the adjective inteligente, intelligent, ends with an E. So I can use it for both masculine and feminine nouns. I could say el maestro inteligente, the smart teacher, or I could say la maestra inteligente. In this situation, inteligente works for both masculine and feminine nouns. Many adjectives that end in a consonant can also match both genders. So, for example, I can say el amigo joven, joven meaning young, ends with a consonant. So I can use it for masculine, el amigo joven, or feminine nouns, la amiga joven. So, right now, what I want you to do is I want you to take out your note guide and I ask you to write some adjectives that end in E and also some adjectives that end in a consonant. Also, use page 75 for inspiration. So stop the video and do this small task. After you're done with that, let's talk about some adjectives that have to be memorized. Some adjectives that end in the consonant add A to form the feminine singular. Unfortunately, these exceptions have to be memorized. For example, in Spanish, if I want to say the hardworking man, I say el chico trabajador. But if I want to make this adjective trabajador feminine, I add an A. So then I would say la chica trabajadora. Also, in Spanish, to make an adjective plural, I add s if it ends in a vowel. And I add es if it ends in a consonant. Here are some examples. If I want to say the hardworking girls, trabajadora already has an A on it. It ends in a vowel, so I just add s. However, if I want to make the adjective trabajador plural, I have to add es because trabajador ends in a consonant. We see the R right here. So then I add es. So what I want you to do right now is I ask you on your note guide to write an adjective that ends in a vowel with a noun. And in this situation, it would just end with s. Then I ask you to write a masculine adjective that ends with a consonant. So then you would add es. Remember, you can use page 75 for inspiration. After you get done with that, let's practice. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to add the correct corresponding adjective to match the feminine or masculine singular or plural noun. So let's focus on number 1. Number 1 says, ella es una persona, and I ask you to write the adjective nice. We know that persona is a feminine singular noun, so I need to write the feminine singular adjective for nice. On page 75, if you look, you can find out that the adjective is simpático or simpática. In this situation, the noun is plural, the noun is singular and feminine. So you have to think, would you use simpático or simpática? In this situation, you would use simpática. So I've already done number 1 for you. So now I want you to try to do 2 through 6 by yourself. Stop the video. And try to do these by yourself. Now, since you've tried to do these by yourself, here are the answers. Number 2, Juan es un hombre trabajador. Hombre is a masculine singular noun, so I need to pair it with a masculine singular adjective. In this situation, it would be trabajador. Number 3, Tomás es un chico alto. Chico is a masculine singular noun, so I need to choose the masculine singular adjective for tall, which is alto. It ends in O. Number 4, ellas son las chicas bonitas. Chicas is a feminine plural noun, so I need to pair it with bonitas, the feminine plural adjective that corresponds with chicas. Number 5, Mario es un amigo grande. Amigo is a masculine singular noun, so I need to pair it with the masculine singular adjective great, in español, grande. Number 6, ellos son los amigos buenos. Amigos is a masculine plural noun, and the masculine plural noun for good in español is buenos. So, if you need to rewatch the video. And remember, when you come to class tomorrow, we will take a short flipped mini quiz over noun-adjective agreement. Adios!